See players squaring off here. Jonathan Rosum of Lotus Box on the left, already at 12 wins, we believe, in the top 8 of this tournament, but playing for more. Certainly can lock up a 1 seed with a win. Jonathan going to 5 cards is going to make it hard on himself, but he hasn't lost a round yet. And he will keep scrying to the bottom. Bowman on 6 cards.
And Rosum is on the draw with that 5-card hand, so not too bad in terms of mulligans, though. Bowman leading on the turn 1 Crypt Breaker. This is the ideal start for the zombie deck.
Right, and especially when both players light on resources, I really like a Crypt Breaker start. You see no attack from Bowman, plays a second land. Looks like he's intending to use that ability. Discarding Dread Wanderer. All right, sure.
And mulliganing makes him that much closer to activating the Wanderer.
That's just how we drew it up. No 3rd land from Bowman, but no 2nd land from Rosum.
And we still might see a 3rd land for Bowman if he wants to get aggressive drawing a card.
Dread Wanderer. He plays Relentless Dead, taps 3 zombies to draw a card. Doesn't hit the land, though.
That's still fine.
Yeah. Rosum has about 1 or 2 turns to hit a land here. He kept a 1-lander on 5, scryed to the bottom, has missed a land on his first 2 draws.
If you have a good mix of spells in 1 land on 5, doesn't make a lot of sense to go to 4, but you will see a lot of games like
make
this.
That, yeah, he missed on his first 3 draws. This is turn 3. Both players have missed a land. A fine keep on 5. Here's the land from Bowman.
And Lord of the Accursed, and that's game. Rosum has seen enough.
Not going to do that. All right, so kind of a non-game there. Both players mulliganing, but thanks to Crypt Breaker, Bowman able to get that one. And that's actually one of the things I like about the Zombies deck. It's so consistent and redundant. First of all, it's low to the ground. Cards cost cheap amounts of mana. Second, it has no color issues because it's a mono black deck. That when you are in a resource light fight, it didn't really... What Adam's hand was 2 swamps and a Crypt Breaker. And that's all he needs to undo a mulligan.
Yep, some pretty good spells to cast on top of it. His deck pretty much just did its thing just fine. All
right. So the players will move to sideboards for their game 2 for Jonathan Rosum. Angel Sanctions negate, Gideon, Fragmentize, Nimble Destructionist, and Stasis Snare. None of these are really set up to fight against zombies.
Yeah, Stasis Snare deals with the sticky threats, your Relentless Deads, so you don't really have spot removal that causes that to trigger too often anyway. Angel of Sanctions is good for much the same reason, but I expect some pretty light sideboarding here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I see too much more on Adam's side. He's got Aethersphere Harvester, Transgress the Mind, Fatal Push, Roldaran Pariah, Never to Return, Liliana the Last Hope, and the Sky Sovereign.
So Adam clearly moving things around, but here's the question. Does he know what Rosum's playing? He saw Basic Island. There's a good chance he's been sitting near him or watching games towards the end. Yeah, you might think this is a control deck.
You might know the fact that Rosum was the 9-0 yesterday. A lot of times when you go to a tournament, the talk of a tournament is going to be who went undefeated. And they'll say, oh, yeah, Jonathan Rosum did. He's playing Blade Blue.
Right.
I bet he knows.
Yeah, you'll see varying degrees of how heads up people are. For myself, when I'm getting ready in the morning, that means hitting snooze and finding a cup of coffee. Sometimes I am oblivious to things that everybody knows, but we'll see if Bowman is cued into that and he sideboards in what he wants. Like the Fatal Pushes, Roldaran Pariah can be pretty good in this matchup. Liliana the Last Hope, really the best card in this sideboard.
Yeah, Last Hope's been great, especially against cards like Selfless Spirit. Love it there.
Yep.
Well, we are now starting Season 2. We started it 2 weeks ago in Roanoke. This is our first broadcast open. Here's the Cincinnati Standard Open. But we have a full schedule of events for you. So we're going to go through our schedule here in 2017. Next weekend, Ryan and I will be in Atlanta covering the Team Open. This is a standard, modern, and legacy event. So you need a team of 3 players to play in it. Our 3rd event in this format, and these are my favorite events of the year.
Yes. Can't wait to have an opportunity to play one of these team events, which I might just do for the November one, but it'd be really exciting to cover the tournament as well.
Yeah, 2 of them per season now. We'll get there. August 5th through 6th, we are going to now go to the modern portion of the schedule. We have a Modern Open in Syracuse, then a Modern Open in Richmond. We take a month off before we go playing Modern in Louisville, so hit all parts of the tour. Then we go back to Dallas at the end of September to play some Standard. We go to Charlotte to play a Modern Open in mid-October. before we end the season. Back here in Cincinnati, we have our Legacy Open October 28th and 29th in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to mark that one on your calendars. We have a Legacy Open every season. We have our regional championships the following week. Before then, you mentioned November 18th and 19th that Team Open in Baltimore is actually our last Open before the Season 2 Invitational. It's December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Roanoke, Virginia. And for those of you coming to SCG Tour events, we also have our Season 2 playmats. These are exclusive art playmats given away. We have one for each format, so Standard, Modern, and Legacy. For Standard, Opens, and Classics, the playmat we'll be giving away is Bantu the Glorified. All of these are the Invocation artworks. So we have our, I guess, former god of Amonkhet, now we have to say.
Right. There's only, do the Scorpion God, Locust God, the Scarab God live? I don't really know. I know Bantu's dead, though, right?
All of them are.
All right.
Yeah. Bantu, what is it? We actually have the removal spell. We see that one, and no, we didn't see Bantu die in art. We just saw Kefnet and Ronus get killed in art.
We know that Bantu's last reckoning happened, so it's got to be dead. And so for Modern, we have Spell Pierce. This is a card I've cast many times. This art really good when you get this full focus on the playmat here.
Formed a misspoke here. Hazaret not actually manages to escape.
Dang.
Only 4 out of 5. That's a B- Nicol Bolas. No, I think the Scorpion, Locust, and Scarab gods are kind of subservient to Bolas.
Right.
So yeah, they're gods, but you know, they're under gods. So, Fatal Push on Selfless Spirit for Adam Bowman. Started off on Dread Wanderer as we start the second game. Rosum's turn 3 play. Ketra's Monument. Going to get that one out here. Mentioned how different the Monument and non-Monument games are. A swing of Dread Wanderer, but no third land from Bowman, no Diregraph Colossus, no anything.
The second land's Westvale. Abby can't even cast some of his 2-drops.
Yeah, and you see his hand, 2 Diregraph Colossus and Liliana the Last Hope. So much to like at 3 mana. But Jonathan going to take advantage. Thraben Inspector, making a clue token and a 1/1. He'll pass. Players here, breakneck speed. Dread Wanderer, Fatal Push. Does he hit a land? He does not.
So it looks like we're going to have a runaway in the other direction here.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close. Jonathan cracks a clue and takes a turn. Adam, if he hits another land this next turn, might be okay.
Liliana the Last Hope does do a pretty good job at checking Oketra's Monument, but generally you have to be on time.
Yeah, here's a swing for 2. I guess running Diregraph Colossus can get a lot of value.
Yeah, you get a lot of zombies that way.
Here is Bygone Bishop, making a 1/1. 2 more mana, another Bishop making a clue and 1/1. Now I'm not sure Colossus in a row is going to matter.
Well, Liliana's no longer looking good at all.
Yeah, here's a Swamp for Bowman. He's got some play. Yeah, what to do though? With double Bishop, every creature Jonathan plays costs 1 less, makes a 1/1, and makes 2 clue tokens. Yeah. It's really out of hand.
Do you even show your opponent that you're packing Liliana is a question to consider.
I wouldn't. Diregraph Colossus is fine, though. He'll cast that.
Yeah, maybe Rosum's out of gas.
Could have all lands. I mean, he probably still wins. I'm not sure he can beat all lands. Rosum has double Angel of Sanctions in hand.
Yeah, all lands, it gets him to Ormondal in 2 turns.
Yeah.
So, pretty scary position.
Mono black, no good answers to Ormondal. Dark Salvation.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah.
1 answer.
Good answers.
Counter Ormondal.
Adam has Voldarn Pariah in the sideboard.
Aha.
Rosum will Angel of Sanctions away the Colossus. Not going to take any risks here. You might have held that back to not let your opponent know you're playing it. Rosum doesn't care about that. He's just going to win this one.
A little encroachment here. Rosum's attack is just going right over Dread Wanderer. Not even respecting that it's there.
I have so many creatures that I need to use your side of the board.
Right. You only have 3 lands. Give me some room.
Swing for 7. Bowman down to 11. Draws Westvale Abbey. It doesn't matter. Bantu's Last Reckoning. Nope, doesn't actually play that card. Never to return on Angel of Sanctions.
Yep. No lethal attack on the following turn, but still very far behind.
Yeah. Rosum has another angel, draws another monument. And might as well angel sanctions away that Colossus again. And swing for 8. And we're going to go to a third game. So in 10 minutes, players have finished the first 2 games already. A quick back and forth set here for the 2 players.
This is my kind of pace of play. Big fan. The games, unfortunately, not very interesting. Pretty open and shut cases. It looks like Bowman did more or less sideboard. It could have been making a hedge, right? Liliana and Never to Return are pretty good against control decks as well. It's possible that Fatal Push is coming back in or something like that as he looks at the sideboard here.
Yeah, I mean, I really think he knows what Jonathan's on.
Yeah, you could have a play draw, transgress the mind situation happening as well.
Sure. Get ready for a third game. Yeah, Jonathan checking his sideboard again. So StarCityGames.com, game night has... It's game night somewhere. We have exclusive pins and tokens, part of Star City Games in-store programs, where we have these given away as prizes just at local tournaments around the country. They're these pretty fun artworks. You can get them from playing at your local store. This month we're giving away the Goose of St. Traft. That's the pin that we're wearing. It's also an angel. It's also a duck. It's also a 4/4 flyer. Next month we'll be giving away the Puggernaut pin and tokens. The 6/6 artifact creature beast. As you see here, and debuting, we have the September promotion. That's the Smell Snare. It's your skunk or 1/1 wizard token. You can collect all of these by finding a game night near you. List of all locations at starcitygames.com/game night.
That pun stinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got him.
And Adam, yeah, you're looking at his sideboard. Looks like he's boarding out Dread Wanderers.
Dread Wanderer is not great against an army of 1/1 tokens.
Yeah, putting maybe 2 back in. You get to see the players go for some sideboard cards.
Got to imagine that both players have seen the other deck a good amount.
Yeah, it looks like what he's trying to do is he took out the Never to Returns for the third game, putting back in a couple of 1-drops, not all of them. Maybe he knows the matchup better. Maybe it's because he's on the play.
Yeah, could certainly be some play draw dynamics going on here. And for Rosum, you do have that tension with Dusk Dawn, where you have games where it's the best card in your deck, and you have games where it's the worst card in your deck.
Yeah, the Dusk half is, I think, what you'd be interested in this matchup. The Dawn part, creatures don't seem to be trading in this match.
Yeah, Dawn's whatever. It's just that sometimes your opponent casts Liliana's Mastery, and you're just way behind. Dusk catches you right back up.
Yeah, just the threat of Dusk Dawn out of Rosum's deck is a concern for Bowman.
Yes.
Once he plays Mastery, then Dusk Dawn is a one-sided sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
But once again there, and I know I say this every time we have the deck on camera, it's the Oketra's Monument games versus the non-Monument games that just stick out to me.
Yes. And then there's the play Basic Island, no follow-up games. Those are going to be the worst games for the Monument deck.
Yeah, he didn't win that one.
No.
Rosum has not done a lot of losing today. 12-0. We saw a 2-0 win over the current player in second place, Michael Hamilton. Saw that yesterday. Today we see him drop a game when he mulligans to 5. That's about it.
Still 36 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time to count our deck, I suppose, as we get a pile shuffle going.
Yeah, Bowman will be on the play for the third deciding game between the players. Now, one interesting thing. This weekend, 3 mono black zombies decks made day 2. But the most popular archetype of zombies, with 4 copies, and was actually black-white zombies. Got to see some of that earlier. This is a reverse of the popularity from before Hour of Devastation.
Yep, generally people previously just went on the side of the more consistent mana base. There's no real reason to go into white. You know, there was a bit more white zombies when we were needing Anguished and Unmaking to combat Aetherworks Marvel. But the draw for black-white right now is largely Mummy Paramount. Pretty innocuous looking creature, looks kind of like a draft common, but it's a 2-mana creature that will often connect for 4 damage. Frequently 3.
Yeah. 2/2 for 2 whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control. Paramount gets 1/1 until end of turn. But we were seeing it yesterday, a 3/3 every turn, and some games up to 4 or 5/5. Wonder how he's getting so many zombies in play. Just plays very well with cards like Diregraph Colossus.
Yes. Dark Salvation also real good.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And I'm debating his 7 here. He's going to keep. Jonathan will not. He's going to go to 6.
Yeah. You could see on Rosum's face, once he saw the 7th card, he put his hand to the side. He was not thinking about keeping that one.
When you're on the draw, do you try to not let your opponent know that? Do you think there's like value in making your opponent decide before you do?
When I was really competitive, I would wait to look at my hand.
Just deal it face down on the table, let them decide, then pick it up.
Yeah, now I'll look at it. I mean, I don't think I have much in the way of tells, but maybe I do when I'm giving away value. I don't really care, I guess.
Yeah, I always assume I have tells just because everybody does, and I see no reason I wouldn't. I'm an everybody.
Yeah, there's some Magic players that play a good amount of poker. They'd be like, I got this read off of this thing, and it's like, I'm not good enough at the gambling element to get into that. I think there's a lot of false positives as well.
No one likes to think that they have tells because it's like really unsettling.
Yeah.
But we do.
My strategy is to just have really good 7-card hands.
Just look at them and just say, my hand's good, and to be telling the truth.
Yeah. Did you read me for that mana leak? Did it still counter your spell? All right.
Jonathan keeping on 6, scries to the top. Game number 3 here, table 1. Jonathan already looks to be locked for top 8. Could secure a 1 seed with a win here. 2 rounds out even.
Yeah, very impressive tournament.
Yeah. First play, Lord of the Accursed from Bowman. Kind of a strange start here. No player with anything on 1 or 2.
Yeah, definitely on the slow side for the zombie deck.
I think Jonathan hits a card off the top of his deck on accident. They're going to call a judge, make sure that everything is dealt with okay there. These players going so fast here. Cards flying. Should be just fine. Judge asks him to be more careful. Monument from Rosum.
That is a much more powerful turn 3 play.
I'm also with Jonathan. Every time we watch him, he likes to draw his monuments in multiples. Got another one in hand. It never seems to matter for these decks, though. It's just so good that it's fine if you have 2 of them.
Right. The first one is just so powerful. I guess a deck that can't remove it, you're going to get a lot of value off that as long as you draw some number of creature spells you can play into it. Against decks that can remove it, the second copy's great.
So Lord of the Accursed attacks from Bowman. He could have played a second Lord of the Accursed, but instead opts not to. He just is going to sit back on some fatal pushes.
If you play another Lord of the Accursed, and both of them die to dusk.
That's a lot of respect for that card. Here's Thraben Inspector from Rosum. Clue and 1/1. Let's keep going. More creatures. Militia Captain, 1/1. See, Angel Sanctions, Militia Captain, another Monument. No way to blow up the monuments. That second card in Rosum's hand, not going to play.
Really like to have a bygone bishop here, but can't have everything. That's kind of the nut draw for this deck, is having Monument following up with Bishop plus Creature Spell in the following turn. The Inspector does at least replace itself with that Clue token, and you get the token as well off the Monument.
Rosum will just pass, so that suggests he might have a Spell Queller. He'll say go. Now Bowman may just play the second Lord of the Accursed. We'll see here.
Yeah, you do have to play to the battlefield at some point.
Yeah, second Lord. Is there a Spell Queller? There is not. There's a Stasis Snare in Rosum's hand. It's going to be Crypt Breaker as well from Bowman. Not playing around Dusk Dawn anymore, and he will pass. Let's see what Rosum's going to snare.
And I like the sequencing here from Bowman. He played the Lord and then the Crypt Breaker. If Rosum casts Stasis Snare here, Bowman will at least be able to draw a card.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah, here's Stasis Snare. We'll see what... I guess, yeah, because Rosum wants to snare the Crypt Breaker.
Yep.
If Rosum wanted to deny the card draw, he would have had to snare a Lord of the Accursed.
Right.
Yeah, that is nice. Bowman going to draw the extra card, go to 18. Me.
Yeah, the Crypt Breaker is really the value engine for the zombie deck. If you want to keep pace with Oketra's Monument, you really need to be drawing extra cards, making some kind of value. That could be Diregraph Colossus does it to an extent. So Crypt Breaker drawing extra cards and converting your extra lands into zombies is really powerful.
And Angel of Sanctions takes care of a Lord as well. On one of our backup features, Michael Hamilton, the player in second place, actually loses his second round to Jonathan Job's mono red deck. So at this point, Rosum is now a full 6 points ahead of the field.
Sitting pretty.
Yeah, winning this game, he could keep that margin going. Sure.
And he's in a nice spot in this game as well.
Yeah, Diregraph Colossus to play for Bowman. He'll swing with the Angel. I mean, this Oketra's Monument is just so good in these decks.
Mm-hmm.
Seems every game they play it, they just run away with it.
Yep. And with one more land, he'll be able to make an Ormondal. Need to get some tokens on the battlefield, but that's not problematic at all for this deck.
Well, just play cards. Here's Draven Inspector making a clue, making a 1/1. Anvir Militia Captain, gonna do it too. Just another 1/1. I mean, yeah, Bowman has a Fatal Push for the Militia Captain.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fatal Push has some spots in this matchup, but it's not going to do nearly enough in the Monument games.
Yeah, Bowman looks at the board. What went wrong here?
I understand why you have no losses in this tournament. Your deck seems pretty good. And Bowman, Westphal Abbey of his own, but nowhere near making Ormondal. Bowman wing as options, just 2 cards in hand. Just got to peek at 1, which I believe with a swamp. And Rosum cracking one of his clues at end step.
Just Colossus and Lord of the Curse, no plays. Yeah, it's land and Fatal Push for Bowman. Rosum draws another Westphal Abbey. It's fine. It's his 5th mana.
And yep.
Here's Ormondal.
No hesitation on this one. And Ormondal should close out the game in short order. Cracking in for 12 in the air, 9 of it lifelink.
And swinging for, yeah, in the air. Just going to do it. It'll be for just short.
The lifelink more or less ends the game, though. Bowman doing some math. Looks like he's trying to evaluate if he can have any kind of draw that gets him up to Westphal Abbey. And I suppose if he makes a token here, gets some zombie that triggers the Crypt Breaker for 1 or 2 mana, then he can go ahead and Ormondal back.
All right, Stan. Welcome to the next round. You have 15 minutes. You may begin.
So Bowman drawing to something
Yeah.
like Crypt Breaker here. That would make another zombie out the Colossus.
Goes to 1 with Westphal Abbey.
Though Rosum can just attack with Angel of Sanctions, and if there's a
Yeah.
block, just bring that one back.
The only ways to kill, we mentioned Ormondal. out of Bowman's deck with cards like Dark Salvation.
Yeah, not enough zombies for that plan.
Voldarin Pariah. None of it's going to work. So Rosum remains undefeated. A 3-in-3. He wins over Adam Bowman. Overcomes a mulligan to 5 and a mulligan to 6.